Improvement in food resources. We know that all living organisms need food supplies for protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals for body development, growth and health. Both plants and animals serve as a major source of food for us. We obtain most of this food from agriculture and animal husbandry. Why this is necessary? Because our population is increasing day by day and there is a limited land for cultivation. The land which is available is already intensively cultivated. So, demand of food is increased with increase in the number of population. To overcome this problem, it is necessary to increase our production efficiency for both crops and livestock. So, to achieve production efficiency for both crops and livestock, we have introduced following revolutions. These are green revolution, which increase the crop yield and variety and quality of crops. White revolution, increase milk product. Blue revolution, for increasing the productivity of fishes. Yellow revolution, for increase the oil production. So here are the different types of crop and their nutritional value are as follows. Cereals such as wheat, rice, maize, millet, sorghum are rich in carbohydrates. Pulses such as gram, black gram, green gram, pigeon pea, lentils rich in proteins. Oilseeds such as soybean, groundnut, sesame, castor, mustard, sunflower are rich in fats. Vegetables, spices and fruits such as carrot, cinnamon, orange, spinach rich in minerals, vitamins and a small amount of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Fodder crops such as barsain, oats and Sudan grass grows as a food for livestock. Various crops require different climatic conditions, temperature and photoperiod for their growth and completing their life cycle. On that basis, two distinct season crops are as follows. First is Kharif crop, another one is Rabi crop. In Kharif crop, this crop are sown in rainy season and harvested in month of winter. This Kharif crop require lots of water. An example of Kharif crop are rice, maize, jowar, arhar, millets, cotton, urad, moong. These are the examples of Kharif crop. On other hand, Rabi crops are sown on the season of winter and harvested during the summer. They require moderate water and the examples of Rabi crops are wheat, barley, pea, gram, peas, mustard, linseed, sugarcane, etc. In India, there has been a 4-time increase in the production of food grains from only 25 increase in the cultivable land area. How has this increase in production been achieved? To achieve this practice involved in farming can be divided into 3 stages. First, choice of seed for planting. So the seed here, quality of the seed should be good. And the nurturing of the crop plant. Once the seed is sown, there are saplings produced. So there should be the proper care of the growing plant. Third is the protection of the growing and harvested crops from the loss. The major groups of activities for improving crop yield can be classified are as follows. First is crop variety improvement, then crop production improvement and crop protection management. In this slide, we'll learn about crop variety improvement. There are three ways we can improve the variety of crop. First is intervarietal. In this type of method, there is a cross between different varieties. Let us take example. Here is a mango variety 1 and mango variety 2. The quality of the mango 1 variety 1 is it produces good quality of fruits but low yield. But another type of mango varieties, its fruit quality is poor but the production is very high. So there is a cross between the mango variety 1 and mango variety 2. So new type of variety is produced, that is mango variety 3, that carries the quality of both the mangoes. For example, good quality of mango with a high yield. Next method for crop variety improvement is interspecific. So here there is a cross between the two different species. For example, lemon and orange are the two different species. So there is a cross between lemon and orange, species 1 and species 2. We produce a new type of species called Meyer lemon. So this Meyer lemon is a combination of lemon and orange. Intergeneric. So cross between two different genera is called intergeneric. Let us take example wheat and rye. So we make a cross between wheat and rye. We'll get a new type of genera called triticale. Students will learn about genera and species in upcoming chapter called diversity in living organisms. So all three methods are the example of hybridization. To accept the new variety of crop, it is necessary that variety produce high yield under different conditions that are found in different area. So some of the factors for which variety improvement is done. High yield, to increase the productivity of crop per acre. Improved quality in terms of baking quality. For example, wheat, protein quality for pulses, oil quality for oil producing seeds, preserving quality for vegetables and fruits. Next factor for improvement in crop is biotic resistance. Crop production go down due to biotic factors such as diseases, insects and nematodes. So biotic resistance crop need to be produced that cope up with the disease, insects and nematodes. Crop production can also go down due to drought, salinity, waterlogging, heat, cold and frost. These are the abiotic factor that harms the crop. So the crop need to be abiotic resistance. Next is change in maturity duration. Short duration crop requires less costing and more rounds of crops. Next, wider adaptability. Crops which grow in different conditions will help in setting high production. Desired agronomic traits. For example, there are two types of crops is produced. One is tall and profuse branching and another one is dwarf, right? So this tall and profuse branching crop is ideal for fodder, right? And this dwarf variety is ideal for producing cereal crops. So that less nutrients are consumed by these crops. Thus, developing variety of desired agronomic characters gives high productivity. Next way to improve crop yield are crop production management. We need food for development, growth and well-being, and plant also requires a nutrient for the same. So the nutrients are supplied to the plant by air, water and soil. So nutrients present in the food provide us with energy that facilitates repair and growth and helps to carry out different life processes. So there are there are two types of nutrients. One is macronutrients and another one is micronutrients. The nutrients that are required in large quantities are called macronutrients, and the nutrients that are required in small quantities are called micronutrients. So there are total 16 nutrients which are essential for plants. Air supplies carbon and oxygen, water supplies hydrogen and oxygen. Then soil supplies both macronutrients and micronutrients. The examples of macronutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. And the examples of micronutrients are iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum and chlorine. Deficiency of these nutrients affect the physiological process in plants, including reproduction, growth and susceptibility to disease. To increase the yield, the soil can be enriched by supplying these nutrients in the form of manure and fertilizer, which we'll read in next class.